All right. So where do we find business now? What's the lowest hanging fruit outside of appointments set not gone on?
Okay. Out of appointments set, not gone on. So, yep, if you can focus on
Outside
that
of
one,
that.
that's a great one. Yep.
Yeah. Outside
So,
of
my favorite ones on the buy side is sign calls. So, if you are a listing heavy business, this is still one of the best lead sources possible because these people are opting into getting information and they're actively out in the market driving around. So, if you're not comfortable with the sign calls, definitely take the time to really get used to those ones, understand how to keep them on the phone for a little bit longer, and convert them on that call to meeting with your team because they are most likely needing help. Even if they've talked to other agents, you guys have to recognize their agent's not doing a good enough job, which is why they're calling you. So you should 100% push for that business because they're actively out in the market. The next place for buyers that I like to look, so if you're not getting a lot of sign calls, is in your CRM, understand how to move within it to find who's active on the website. Those people are shopping. Now, they might not be tied to you yet, even though they might be in your database, in your ecosystem, but they are looking. And the ones that are consistently looking, you need to have a good message or understand their search criteria and get them off market properties. Go through Craigslist, Facebook, and say, hey, I found a similar property. I'd love to chat with you about it. Those are the things that you should be saying to the recently active buyers. The other one that I've seen really effective lately is actually circle prospecting and going back into the neighborhoods when you have a listing and being able to tell them, like, hey, we have this upcoming listing. Previous neighbors have moved from this area into this location. We wanted to see if anyone was looking to make a move. So if you can, see if you can do the upgrade pitch with a circle prospect. And it's a great training opportunity if you have someone newer or somebody that needs to get comfortable with dialing. On the sell side, the
hold on,
ones
time
that I
out.
see the most.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, go
gosh,
ahead.
hold on, time out. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so let's break this down. Okay, because I
Yep.
want them to really understand this. Okay.
Yeah.
So you go into my CRM. Okay. You pull
Mhm.
who's been active in the last 72 hours shopping on the website, right? Like
Correct.
who's been active the last 72 hours. That's typically what we pull, right? What do you say? You call them and what? Go.
Yep. So if they don't answer on the phone, I'm going to leave a message and I'm going to say, "Hey, this is Ashton with Keller Williams. I was just calling because you were recently active on our website. I'm also going to shoot you a text message in case that's a better way to communicate, but I wanted to talk to you about some properties that may fit what you're looking for." I want them to know that I'm gonna text them. You guys know when you get a message like that, you're more likely to be like, "Okay, this person's not going away." So they're more likely to respond. Make sure you guys tell them you're gonna reach out twice. And then in the text message, sometimes if you have an off-market property you're aware of or an upcoming listing, talk to your team that's similar to it. You can say, "Hey, we have a 322 in this city that I see that you've been searching in, but I'm not sure it's the right price range. Do you have a few minutes to chat today?" You can do it that way, but you want to give them a carrot, something to jump off of, because if you just reach out and say, "Hey, are you still looking?" They're getting messages like that from other people. So sound different with whatever you can say because you're more likely to get engaged. Another way that you can get them to actually come back into it is asking like, "Hey, we have properties coming up that I think might look. Are you still looking to make a move this year or did your plans change?" So many people are actively looking, but when we force them to answer the question about right now, they get scared because they're like, if I say anything, this person's going to hound me. But if you ask about the timeline and they say, oh, yeah, it got moved to next year, you can continue the conversation without the pressure of the sale right now, but instead fill out the contact information that you guys need. What's their timeline? What are they waiting on? What's the real motivation? And then that way they actually are truly converted, not just a slightly updated, engaged lead in your database. So, if you can't do the message for the off-market property, are you still looking to make a move this year, or did your plans change? Because I promise you'll get an engagement back without having that much pressure on, do you have to purchase right now? Does that help on that clarification, Emily?
Yeah, I really like what you said. I trust that all of you wrote down looking at when you're pulling up the contact. This is like the ninja style of lead gen, right? You're multitasking by like looking through their portal as you're calling, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. And so you have your all your tabs open, right? And you're going through their portal and you look at a few of the things. So whether it's location, whether it's oh, they're looking at 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms, right? And saying, hey, we've got everyone has more inventory. You all have more inventory, right? So, hey, we've got a lot of 4-bedroom options here in Ozark. I noticed that's what you were touring. What price are you looking at? Keeping it open-ended so you can eliminate and isolate, like, oh, we're waiting because the election. Oh, we're waiting because that's all the things that I hear all the time, right? You're eliminating that because they're not going to respond. They're going to go, oh, yes, I am looking for a 4-bedroom. Oh, well, we want to be around 350.
Perfect. Yep.
Well, that's awesome. We've got a ton of options. Help me understand, by when do you want to move?
Yep.
Right. Okay, cool. Love it.
Absolutely.
Okay, I wanted to get into that website because a lot of you, can we all agree you have a lot of contacts in your database? Yes. Okay. So sign calls, we can't really control that, right? That's you're responding, right? Some of you get a lot of sign calls, some of you don't. It's very market dependent. But the website one, that's a huge one of who's active. So that would be like on your Legion plan next week. Okay, love it. Let's go into
Can I pause really quick? Sorry, Emily, really quick on that too. If you're not comfortable in your CRM, I know that they are also different. Like that is one of the things that I love doing is helping people understand them a little bit better. And so if you need time or just somebody to like literally step by step show you how to do that stuff, that is, I love helping people understand where their business is at in their business. So if you need help, and Emily knows how to do it too, but yeah, let me help you find how to filter these people because a lot of you guys have gold in your database that we can get to.
Yeah, so that was a cue of reach out to Ashton. Her email is on your invite. Yes, I do not want to solve that problem. I do not.
Okay, yeah, don't let Emily solve it. Let me solve it
Don't
for
let
you.
me. Okay. All right. So moving on.